Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you haven't yet, please consider helping us feed a hungry hippo by subscribing and liking this video. Today we are going to be taking a look back at December of 2024 at all of the plush that sold on eBay. So we're going to look at plush that sold on eBay, just on this platform specifically. Before, and you can see all these tabs up here, I've pulled up every single plush that sold in December on our eBay store. But before we show you the plush and talk about them, I need to preface this plush video with a little bit of tough love and maybe some re-education for plush sellers or brand new information and education for anyone who may be new to selling plush or thinking about selling plush. The number one thing you need to realize going in is that plush is long tail. And what that means is plush takes a long time to sell, with very rare exceptions of an extremely rare or bolo plush or being in the right place at the right time and just happening to list a red Yoshi when someone's looking for one. Those rare exceptions are going to be like one out of every probably 50,000. I'm making numbers up in my head, but I mean, it's so rare. Plush are long tail. They are the slowest of the slow categories. They are slow. Can I say it again for those of you in the back? Plush are long tail. They are very slow. Why am I taking the time to beat this through your heads? Because as I look back at my December plush sales, and as I look back at my overall sales last year, you know we're getting close to tax time, and as I was updating my plush guide for 2025, I've noticed something very disgusting. That one thing that I hate the most, that I think resellers should stop doing, that I think resellers who participate in are turds, that race to the bottom, I think it's the most prevalent and noticeable within the plush category. And I think I know why. Because folks get into selling plush. They find them at very low cost of goods. They find them in bulk. They get excited. They're cute. They buy a lot of it. They don't really probably have room to store it. And even if they do, they just get impatient and they start lowering prices. And what you're doing is you're tanking and you're ruining the market for those of us who actually understand plush and know what we're doing and understand that we have to sit on them for a while. Now, in doing all of my guides that we've been doing since 2017, I update them every year. They actually started out as guides for us as Keith and I were learning how to be resellers and learning what to source. And then I eventually started selling them to the public. But as I do these guides, I can see a general trend of lower sell-through rates and lower prices. People panic and they do stupid things. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. If you're part of the problem, if you're panicking and you're going into impatient mode that your plush isn't selling and you're lowering the prices, you are a problem. Pull your plush, sell them to somebody who knows what they're doing, and get out of the gate. Period. Most clothing, like general bread and butter, just random clothing on eBay, it's going to take about 6 to 9 months to sell. Anything that sells faster than 6 months is a bolo brand, a luxury brand, a one-of-a-kind, vintage, things like that. So if you take your average American Eagle pair of jeans, it's going to take about 6 to 9 months to sell, usually. The equivalent of that for a plush is a year. If your plush sells in under a year, that's fast. Good for you. You found a high sell-through rate. Golf clap. I can't tell you, if I had a penny for every time over the past 8 years that someone has told me, I don't know what to do, my plush is slow, it's not selling, it's not moving, and I actually asked them, well, how long has it been listed? Their answers always, they either make me laugh in hilarity or just grind my teeth because listen, a plush that's been sitting for a month, a couple of months, a couple of 6 months, that's not, oh my God, my plush is sitting forever and it's not selling. That's natural. That's normal. The amount of people that think their plush are going to sell overnight or within a few weeks, I don't understand that mentality. If you've ever resold anything on any platform, you know that is an unrealistic expectation for any category. Why do we suddenly think that just because something is so cute or comes from a video game or comes from a TV show that yours is going to sell within a couple of weeks? That's not even realistic for clothing. So what I think is happening is people who don't understand plush are getting into plush, and then they're panicking because, oh my gosh, it's been listed for a month. I better freak out and lower the price. And so now that race to the bottom is really affecting this category, and it's upsetting me. I can even tell you some of the best brands like Jellycat that used to sell for 50, 60 bucks. You're going to see some in here that I listed at like 11 bucks because that's what's going on. I can't compete. If I look at eBay and there's thousands of Jellycats listed and thousands of turds have them listed at 11 bucks, I can't put my one Jellycat in there for what they used to sell because then I really will never sell it. I know that I'm not the most famous YouTuber. I don't have a lot of subscribers, so I'm not going to reach a lot of people. But I would hope that a lot of people who like plush do watch me. I'm known for selling plush. I'm called the Plushie Queen. And I'm sure that for every one reseller that watches me, they at least have 2 or 3 reseller friends who have 2 or 3 reseller friends who have 2 or reseller friends. So let's spread the word. Let's get the education out there. Let's get knowledgeable. I have been telling people for 8 years that plush is long tail. I am blue in the face and no one is listening to me. And the amount of plush that I saw in my guide just tank, and brands that should never have tanked. It's nice when you can find the expensive plush, guys, but how often in your lifetime are you going to go to the thrift store on a random Wednesday afternoon and find a $1,000 Douglas cuddle toy? But how often are you going to go to a church sale and they have a bin of 50-cent plush and they all sell for 12 to 25 bucks? You can bring them all home. Plush is good, low cost of goods, but you're not going to find those hit home runs, those once in a lifetime finds more than once in a lifetime, maybe twice, if you're a lucky person. So I just wanted to preface this video with a little bit of a lecture and a little bit of re-education. Let's get the word out there. Plush is super long tail. If you don't have patience, if you can't learn and understand that they're long tail, and or you don't have room for them, they're probably not the category for you. And you know, this goes for every category. When something isn't selling for you fast enough, that doesn't mean you source something that's bad or that you did something wrong. It could mean that. You have to look at everything. But if you look at your pictures and your title and everything else is good and your price is within the comps, you probably just picked something that has a longer sell-through rate than you thought it would. And the answer is not to get impatient, not to freak out, not to panic, and take your $50 Jellycat and list it for $12. Put it on sale or switch to another category that's faster. But too many times, like I said, this goes with every category, people panic and start lowering prices. You can lower prices without lowering prices. You can run sales. So if you are in panic mode, you need something to sell, just run a 50% off clearance sale on your store. But keep your prices where they're at. And hopefully we can, I don't think there's any coming back. Once a brand has come so far down in price, unless I guess, unless it just stops being sold. Like, let's say there's 1,000 pairs of American Eagle. There's a lot more than that, but let's say that. And all of a sudden, everybody's listing it for $2 free ship. Until no one is selling them anymore, that's what they're going to sell for. So there's really no fixing it unless a certain brand or certain item just isn't listed for a long time and then it comes back. Then it's rare and then you can raise the price. But that's going to take longer than I have left to live to fix. Probably longer than my great-great-great-great-grandchildren. Y'all done messed it up. The market screwed up. All we can do now is move forward. Hopefully not ruin more items. And if you're listening to this and you're like nodding along and you agree with me, that's great. If you're listening to this and you feel like you're getting angry at me or you're feeling some type of way, if you're feeling defensive or you feel like telling me where to go, you're probably the person I'm really talking to. You're probably the problem. Comp your items, price them accordingly, and run sales when you need money. Run sales when you need to clear out items. Run sales when you panic. But don't panic and then just lower the prices. And like I said, I can't fix eBay. I'm one small eBayer with like 2 of you people that watch me maybe anymore because I'm not exciting and I don't clickbait and I teach and I do education and that's just not entertainment. That's what people watch. But hopefully a couple of you can learn from this and tell a couple people who tell a couple people. That's always been my hope. I'm here to teach. I'm here to educate. And that sometimes doesn't mean that I'm always nice. And that sometimes means I have to tell you guys how things are. And I have to give you a little bit of tough love. But the amount of disappointment I had when I was doing my guides this year, just not even just Plush, like everything in general. Knock it off. All right, we're going to go through these Plush and I'm just going to really tell you if I think they're good for you to source to sell based on if you have a volume-based business model like mine where you don't mind filler items. If you want more detailed what sold videos about where I source items and how much I sell them for and when I take offers and stuff like that, I do a weekly what sold video every Monday. And I show you everything that sells on eBay, including all of the Plush. But in these Plush-centric videos I do once a month, I just kind of try to approach it a little differently so you can get a little bit of a different kind of teaching highlight reel than what you get on the weekly videos. Video game plushies in general, we're going to start with the Yoshi, can be lucrative. You just need to learn your characters and know what's popular at the time. I always tell people if you're going to sell plush, keep your fingers on the pulse of pop culture. Know what video games are coming out, know what kids shows are relevant and popular, and know what movies are coming out. You can have a character from a Nickelodeon show that is oversaturated, comping really low, but then a new movie comes out, the price can go up and the popularity will go up. So just keep that in mind. And, you know, always do your due diligence. If you question it, if you don't want to spend $1 on a plush at a thrift, because when you get it home, it might be like this Yoshi and only sell for $6, cop it at the store. My guide is available for those of you that want that on your phone. When you're outsourcing, you can check sell-through rates and average sell prices on hundreds of plushies that way. Or you can just look it up on eBay for yourself. Most video game plush are worth it, but some, like poor little Yoshi here, he was clearanced. And in order for me to clearance a plush, it has to be like 2 years old because I understand that they're long tail. And I will run deep 50% off clearance sales on my plush once in a while. Manhattan Toy Company is a pretty good company to look out for. Some of their plush are going to be worth more than others. This bear was on sale, but he's like a 15 plus shipping. So he's like a $20 plush. To me, that's a solid bread and butter. So this is a brand you may want to look for. And again, depending on the animal, some can go for more money. Disney in general is just oversaturated. Unless you find a very popular character, hard to find character, villains do well. Disney parks, Disney store are going to fare better than just any Disney like Mattel. Larger ones are going to do better. Disney's really hit or miss. Here's another video game plush. It's Fortnite. I was excited when I pulled it out of my wholesale box, but it comped pretty low. Gund is a solid bread and butter brand. Most of their plush are going to be around, I want to say like 16, and that's all in with shipping, or 16 free ship, however you do your listings. Most of them are going to sell for 15 or 16 going up. Some will be 12 to 14. Easter plush are always good too. This is a generic plush. So when I get these in my boxes, I list them because I'm going to get every penny I can out of that wholesale box. If you ever get an animal who doesn't have a tag, don't try to guess. Even if it looks like a Disney character or a Mojang character, do not say something is a character unless you have a tag to back that statement up, because you're asking for a zero. But instead, you can just use really good keywords. I do offer bundles, coupons on the weekends. Buy two, get 50% off on most of the items in our store. And people do take advantage of that. So we sold a Tigger and two Mickey. I almost said mini. Two Mickey Mice on this bundle. So, I mean, I have a lot of Disney in my store. I tell people it's oversaturated and it's not great. And I don't go out of my way to source it like at the thrift. But I do get a lot of it in my wholesale boxes, and I'm more than happy to list it when it comes to me that way. Build-A-Bear, these minis are poop. Poop, poop, poop. The regular size Build-A-Bear and their clothing, I think, are good brands. Is a good brand to pick up. Vintage plush is usually pretty good. This is a Wago. I got $13 in shipping for it. So this would be about a $30 plush all in. So you could do 30 free ship or however you want to break that down. Here's another Disney. And this one, you know, is worth a little more because he talks. And there's not a lot of this character. You know, it's not as oversaturated. Great Wolf Lodge items, absolutely. Every Great Wolf Lodge item I've had actually sells more quickly than it should. It has like a high sell-through rate for plush, and it comps pretty high. These are very popular with kids. Christmas plush in general, Russ plush, vintage Russ. I like all of these. Bread and butter again. Here's another Gund. This one's a baby Gund. I think any plush that are intended for babies are good. They'll have like the soft cloth eyes, and you can notate that in your description that it's specific for babies and it's safe. And you can use keywords like lovey, baby, infant, things like that. This is poop. I think this is Shopkins, honestly, but remember what I just told you. I don't have a tag on this plush saying it's Shopkins. So I'm not going to call it Shopkins, even though it looks like one, because I don't want a zero. And a lot of companies will come after you because it's a chance of a knockoff if you don't have their explicit branding on the item. So I don't put, unless it's like so super obvious. Like, obviously Mickey Mouse is Mickey Mouse, but if it looked like a wonky Mickey Mouse, I would question it and not say it. Build-A-Bear. So this one's like a $20 all-in plush. I like Build-A-Bear. Please list them at what they're worth. The plain ones are 18 to 20 bucks. The more unique ones are 20 to 25. And the even more unique ones, characters, if they come with outfits or accessories, they can be worth a lot more than that. But even just a plain brown teddy bear should be $18 to $20. They're considered a luxury plush brand, really, that you have to go to the mall or wherever to build it or order them online. They're not easy to find. They're a recognizable brand. They're worth what you can ask for. SeaWorld, just like the Disney theme parks, Universal Studios, SeaWorld's a good one to find. Some of the animals will comp higher than others. It just depends on their popularity, how saturated they are, and how many turds have ruined it by racing to the bottom. Can't mention that enough, can I? Another Build-A-Bear. So you can see that this is an aristocrat. Nope, she's an aristocat, not an aristocrat. This is Marie from Aristocats. So she's special. She's not just a regular Build-A-Bear. So she sold for like $24. Here's a Jellycat. So all in, this is like $18, which is okay for most bread and butter plush. But a Jellycat should never sell for $18. They do all the time, and less than that now. But there was a time when even something like this would go for $40. This brand used to mean something. These are poop. Don't source these. Don't source them on purpose. And please pray that you don't source them on accident like I did. I just bundled them all up and tried to get rid of them. Dandy is one of those brands that ranges from low end, like $12 bread and butters, all the way up to $50 and $60 snowflake daddies if you can find them. So do your due diligence. I like Dandy. Like if I was buying it on purpose at like a garage sale or a thrift store, if they're $1 or less, I'm going to buy all of them and I'll figure it out when I get home. Squishmallow. This is a brand that used to be a definite bolo. Always grab every Squishmallow you ever find. Unfortunately, they did get a little oversaturated. The trend is not as popular as it used to be. And can you guess what I'm about to say? You guessed it. Turds had to go and ruin it. There are some Squishmallows, these really big ones like this, that are specific to holidays or specific characters that can still sell for a lot. But I had a giant, I think she was a unicorn. She didn't comp very high, like $15. But this guy, he had 13 shipping on him in addition to $28.50. So that's pretty good. So some of the Squishmallows are still decent. Vintage plush, like I said, are good. Easter plush. This is poop. Animal Adventure, normal sized plush. They're realistic looking animals, are good. This is just a tiny little keychain clip that I got in a lot. I mean, he's like $12 all in. 13 or 14, I can't math. So it's bread and butter, I guess. Here's a Build-A-Bear My Little Pony. She had $13 shipping on her. So you're looking at like a $25 or $30 plush. Mine had problems with her hair. So I would have gone more for 30 or 35 if she didn't have tangles and stuff in her hair, which I did disclose. This is a giant Curious George. So plush like this that are recognizable characters that are, it has a book with it too. And they're really big. I always charge a lot for. So you can see he had 13 shipping. So he's like a $25, $30 plush. Here's another Squishmallow. This one is Saint Nick. And it's about $30 all in with the 13 shipping. Not as much as the gnome, but it's still a pretty good find. Special Build-A-Bear. This is just a generic little bear with no tags. But I put Valentine's Day and gave him good keywords, made sure he looked really cute for his photos. And I still got, you know, $12 for it. Strawberry Shortcake is good, especially certain characters. As you can see here, that Honey Pie, the horse, sells for $30. And that's the prices I'm giving you are the all-in price because shipping isn't really free. So no matter how you do your listings or how you do your shipping, the price is the price is the price is the price. So a $30 plush is $30 free ship, $25 5 ship, $20 10 ship, however you want to cut it. Here's another bundle buy on the coupons we offer on the weekends. This person got 2 vintage Looney Tunes plush together. That's why I like doing those coupons. It encourages people to bulk buy things like comics and jewelry that are lightweight so they can get more for the price of the shipping. But if they see themed items in your store like this, they may be more than willing to buy a couple of Mickey Mice or some Looney Tunes. And I know it's still Mickey Mouse, but I love to say Mickey Mice. Mickey Mouse. This is a Build-A-Bear Promise Pet. Toy Factory, generic brand, but I sell it when I get it. This was a holiday one, so you can see it went for like 16 bucks. Another video game plush, little Kirby here for about 12 bucks. I had a big Kirby once that sold for more, so it may be dependent upon size. I always tell people to get Singamajigs. Singamajig. This one sold for 20 all in, and when you squish them, they sing. I've had plenty of these over the years. When I first started selling Singamajig, when I first started reselling, I should say, Singamajigs were about 40 all in. Now they're about 20. This is the Zero Pet Alive. I don't really know a lot about these. It just came to me in a wholesale buy, but it sold for over $20 all in. So I would get this if I found it again. I would say you should get it. In fact, I would say that most plush that sing and dance or do something cute are worth picking up if they still work, because they just do really well. Classic Toy Company is pretty much poop. It used to be a brand that I considered bread and butter, especially the dragons, but they don't do so well anymore. Another Jellycat disappointment. A vintage lion. So vintage plush are good, like I said. These 24K plush are from the 90s. So if you ever see this tag, you probably want to source it. And last is this My Buddy Blippi. I sold this guy. I Google imaged him. I comped him. And I still don't know where he's from. He came out of a box that I bought of plush. If you know who My Buddy Blippi is, it's not like I Googled him or researched him. I try not to spend too much time on items. I don't need to know. I don't need to know what show he's from to sell him is what I'm trying to say. It's easy to Google search for a name and then do the comps. But now I'm curious because now I'm like, I still don't know. He had writing all over his face and his head. So his price reflected that. I did lower my price a little bit. All right, so that is all of my plush that sold on eBay in December with a 10-minute lecture in the front of it because it's time for re-education and it's time for resellers, especially in these tough times. We need to value ourselves. Value yourself. Value your items. And most especially, put a value on your time and your effort. I know some people have the mentality of, but I only paid. That doesn't matter. If Miss Me Jeans are on the market for $50 and you source yours for $13 and I source mine for $5, they're both still worth that same $50. I just fortunately get to make a little bit more profit because my cost of goods was lower. Your cost of goods should absolutely have no bearing on your pricing. The market value, check your comps, learn how to check comps if you don't, get educated, know the sell-through rates of what you're selling. If you're a high volume bread and butter business, chances are you're going to have a lot of items, like 5,000 listed. You might sell 20 a day, but you're going to be sitting on a lot. It's just the nature of the business. So get educated, learn what type of business are you running? What are your sell-through rates? Do you have room for all this storage? Do your comps. And please don't base your prices on what you're paying. If you are lucky enough that you have a low cost of goods, you can make more money, and that's good. It's not being greedy. We all quit our jobs, most of us that do this full time, quit our jobs or lost our jobs or became disabled, but for whatever reason, we don't have a job anymore. This is it. This is how we pay our bills. This is how we put food on the table. And if you can make a little bit extra profit, it's not greedy. It's called getting a raise. So just do your, price things at what they're at. And if you really need to get sales, run sales, but don't start lowering prices. You trash an entire market that way. I just can't. Y'all are killing me. All right. Leave comments, join the Facebook group, be productive. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.